Hello, my name is Karen Love, and I am a member of the Bishop Nathan Baxter Chapter of the Union of Black Episcopalians. I am currently serving as the president of this organization. The Union of Black Episcopalians stands in a continuing tradition of more than 200 years of Black leadership in the Episcopal Church. Beginning with the Reverend Absalom Jones, the first priest of African descent in the Episcopal Church, and the establisher of St. Thomas Episcopal Church in Philadelphia uh, in 1794. This leadership has continued throughout the country and UB chapters that are spread throughout. I have to tell you a little bit of history about my parents because they were also avid members of the Union of Black Episcopalians. My father had belonged to the local chapter. I shouldn't say to he had belonged to the national chapter of UBE before the Diocese of Central Pennsylvania had a chapter established here. And in 2014, he asked me to drive him to a meeting at the church. And when I got there, it was this organization in November of 2014. And as I sat and listened to them talk about their plans for the future, I got interested in being a part of the group. And unbeknownst to us, in 2014, my dad passed away just before we established this chapter nationally. So I was both shocked to find that he had passed, but also felt like I needed to carry this legacy forward. And I was very enthusiastic about being a part of the Union of Black Episcopalians. We continued to figure that we needed to do more to support our youth. That was a big proponent of not only the committee, but my dad, and especially, and my mother, who were both educators. And so finally, we said, let's establish a scholarship that will support students of color going into the field of education. And so we were fortunate that that we could get that started. Our first one was at um, St. Andrews in the Valley, and we had a wonderful reception and celebration that highlighted educators. And we had educators from public, private schools, from, of course, St. Stephen's, from all different areas. And we celebrated the educators of color who were making a difference in children's lives. And that was the very beginning of our fundraising in an effort to raise $100,000 so that we could have a perpetual scholarship through the Foundation for Enhancing Communities and make sure that students of color were in classrooms sharing their passion for learning and also encouraging students to learn. And this year, in 2025 of September, we were able to host our third biennial Love Gala. And that was at the Country Club of Harrisburg on September 28th. And once again, just a wonderful celebration of community. I will say that our current bishop, Audrey Scanlan, has been a wonderful supporter of our UBE chapter, its mission, which I didn't get to tell you about, but I will now. Our mission has always been to provide an opportunity for voices of color to be heard within the community church, to be able to encourage people to be involved in both the laity and the clergy in the Episcopal Church, and to feel supported as we continue to fight against racial injustice in our communities and any social justice issues that affect all people, because we are a church that welcomes all and supports all. And so our goals have always been to make sure that we are being that example, that we are including others, that we are supporting the work that the church is doing to to eradicate some of the racism that has existed for years, to continue to make this an important part of how we operate as a church so that people feel welcomed into our community. The Union of Black Episcopalians, Bishop Nathan Baxter Chapter, welcomes all people of all colors as a part of our membership. The only requirement is that you be an Episcopalian. But if you are supportive of our mission and our goals, if you want to fight against racism and make this church a more inclusive church, then we welcome your participation. We will retain leadership positions in our organization as African Americans, but as I said, all are welcome and we appreciate what you bring to the table as well. We continue to work with, in this diocese, the Dismantling Racism Commission. And we have been a sounding board for them. We've had retreats together, and we look forward as we move into the Diocese of the Susquehanna to work with the Beloved Community Commission to continue to share these goals of making our church and our communities inclusive and supportive to all. Thank you.